Hey, ladies and fellas, too. Welcome to the Billionaire Embodiment Entertainment Podcast, better known as B.E.E., where we don't just talk about success, we embody it. I'm your host, Harrison Jacobs, Billionaire Embodiment Coach, wealth strategist, and the man who tells it to you raw and unfiltered. If you've ever wondered what truly separates the women who win effortlessly from the ones who struggle and chase, you're in the right place. This is not a motivational podcast. This is not a hustle culture podcast. This is not a place where we tell women to be strong while burning themselves out. Nah, what we do here is different. This is a high-level luxury conversation about power, presence, attraction, and the billionaire mindset that changes everything. So if you're tired of chasing, forcing, and doing the most with little results, it's time to listen up. Because of this is a whole new game. Why this podcast? Why now? Let's get one thing straight. The world is full of noise. Everybody's out here trying to sell you a strategy, step-by-step formula, a proven method that's supposed to guarantee success. But let me tell you something. The women I've worked with, the ones who truly embody success, they don't hustle. They don't chase. They don't beg for a seat at the table. They move differently. They command the room without saying a word. They expect success, and success shows up. This podcast is not about giving you a new strategy to hustle harder. It's about shifting your mindset so you don't have to. It's about rewiring how you think. It's about stepping into the energy of attraction. It's about embodying the kind of woman that power, money, and influence can't ignore. Most people aren't ready for this conversation. But if you're still listening, if you feel that pull in your gut like something inside you is about to shift, then you're exactly where you need to be. The structure of the show, a luxury conversation. Now, let me break this down for you. This isn't one of those fluffy self-help podcasts where we manifest and hope for the best. Every episode, we get into the real game. We study real women, ones who have mastered presence, attraction, and influence. We bring in billionaires, CEOs, and elite strategists to share high-level conversations that most people never get access to. Some episodes will be breakdowns of power moves, how the most successful women in the world operate. Some episodes will feature exclusive guests, high-value men, luxury brand experts, and the biggest names in the business. And some episodes, it'll just be me giving you the raw, unfiltered game you need to level up. But no matter what, every episode will be a luxury conversation. This is the room you've always wanted to be in. And now, you've got a front row seat. Who I Says podcast for. Now, let me be real with you. This podcast is not for everybody. If you're a woman who wants to embody her next level self and stop settling, this is for you. If you're a man who wants to understand high value women, this is for you. If you're an entrepreneur, CEO, or someone who refuses to play small anymore, this is for you. But if you're looking for basic dating advice or motivational speeches that don't come with action, you might want to find another podcast, because what do we do here? We change mindsets, we shift identities, we move differently. And once you start moving differently, as a matter of fact, while we're here, let's take a second to pay some bills. Ladies, if you're serious about stepping into your billionaire embodiment, grab your copy of The One Woman's $1 Billion Business by Kiana Devine. This book is your roadmap to creating wealth on your own terms. Click the link in the description box below to get yours today. The first step to embodiment. Before we wrap this up, let me leave you with something real. You don't become a high-value woman by working harder. You become her by embodying her. You don't chase. You attract. You don't prove. You embody. You don't wait for permission. You move like you already have it. And starting today, that's precisely how you're going to move. Who I S. Harrison Jacobs. Now, before we get too deep into this journey, I know some of y'all are new here. Some of y'all might be wondering, who the hell is Harrison Jacobs and why should I even be listening to him? So let's talk about it. I'm a billionaire embodiment coach. What does that mean? It means I train women to embody wealth, power, and influence, not just chase it. It means I don't teach women how to get rich quick. I teach them how to become the type of woman success naturally flows to. I teach women how to move in rooms full of powerful men without shrinking. I teach women how to command respect without begging for it. I teach women how to build wealth in a way that feels effortless, because when you embody wealth, money follows. And this ain't theory. This ain't some feel-good Pinterest quote type of advice. I've been in this game for over 2 decades. I've coached thousands of high-value women. I've helped build empires from the ground up, turning struggling entrepreneurs into multi-millionaires. This is what I do. It's what I've always done. It's what I will continue to do. So if you're here looking for surface level tips and generic affirmations, this might not be the podcast for you. But if you're here because you're serious about stepping into your next level self, then sit back, grab a glass of whatever makes you feel rich, and let's get into it, because we're just getting started. The luxury lifestyle, moving like a billionaire. Now let me tell y'all something. I don't just coach billionaire embodiment. I live it. I wake up every morning in my penthouse overlooking the city. I don't set an alarm because my life is structured in a way where I don't have to wake up to an obligation. I start my day with my wife, Tiffany. We sip coffee, we talk about our investments, our legacy, and how we're shaping the next generation of wealth. I go downstairs to my private gym. No waiting in lines, no crowds, just me, my trainer, and whatever I decide my body needs that day. I step into divine towers where my business operates at the highest level. My meetings, not basic. I don't sit around begging for deals. I close billion-dollar conversations while sipping on $5,000 bottles of whiskey. This is how I move. And I move this way because I decided to embody it first. A lot of y'all want success, but you're still moving like a struggle. You're still operating from survival mode. You're still hoping life will get better instead of becoming the version of you that attracts better. That's why this podcast exists. Because I need y'all to understand, money follows identity. Success follows embodiment. Power follows presence. Once you move differently, the world has no choice but to respond differently. As a matter of fact, while we're here, let's take a second to pay some bills. Ladies, if you're serious about stepping into your billionaire embodiment, grab your copy of The One Woman's $1 Billion Business by Kiana Devine. This book is your roadmap to creating wealth on your own terms. Click the link in the description box below to get yours today. How did Harrison Jacobs get here? Y'all want to know how I got here? How I go from just another man with ambition to a billionaire embodiment coach who trains the world's most powerful women. Let me take you back. I didn't grow up rich. I didn't come from money. My family wasn't struggling, but we weren't living in luxury either. Everything I built it from the ground up. And I built it because I understood one thing early: the world doesn't give power to those who beg for it. It gives power to those who claim it. So at 18 years old, while other guys were out here chasing women and wasting time, I was studying wealth, studying power, studying presence. By 25, I had already built my first 6-figure business. By 30, I was moving in circles most men only dream about. By 35, I had my first 8-figure exit, and I realized that everything I knew, women needed to hear it too. Because I had spent years watching powerful women shrink, watching them do too much for too little, watching them run in circles instead of sitting back and letting life come to them. And that's when I made my decision. I was going to coach women into their billionaire era. I was going to teach them what men knew but never shared. I was going to give them the blueprint to power, presence, and wealth without struggle. What's next? The future of B.E.E. So where do we go from here? Billionaire Embodiment Entertainment is just getting started. This podcast is the beginning. But trust me when I say it's about to get bigger than this. We're bringing in billionaire guests. We're hosting live luxury events for women ready to level up. We're curating a movement where high-value women stop chasing and start embodying. So if you're listening to this right now, you're early. You're ahead of the game. And if you stick with me, your life will never move the same way again. Social media kinda, let's GET into IT. All right. We've been talking heavy today, but I see y'all blowing up the chat. Y'all got some questions? Let's get into it. As a matter of fact, if you're watching this live on Instagram, TikTok, or Facebook, go ahead and drop your questions in the chat right now. Let's talk. Ms. Boss Moves on Instagram asks, Harrison, I love what you're saying, but what if I feel like I've already embodied success, yet I'm still struggling to attract the right opportunities? That's a good question. And I'm going to give it to you straight. Just because you believe you're embodying success doesn't mean you actually are. See, a lot of women mistake confidence for conviction. They think because they know their worth, opportunities should just show up. But do you actually move like a woman who expects success? Or do you just hope for it? Conviction doesn't just say, I deserve it. Conviction moves like it's already done. Check yourself. Are you saying you're high value, but still begging for validation? Are you speaking about success, but still acting from a place of scarcity? Are you embodying wealth, but still afraid to invest in yourself? If you're struggling to attract opportunities, it's because you're still thinking like someone who has to work for it, instead of someone who commands it. Fix your energy, fix your expectations, fix your movement. The rest will follow. Sophisticated Queen on TikTok asks, Harrison, what's the biggest mistake women make when it comes to presence and attraction? Oof, let me tell you something. The biggest mistake? Moving like you need to prove something. The most powerful women I know don't show up, they just exist. They don't over-explain. They don't perform. They don't fill silence with nervous energy. Here's the rule. If you feel like you have to prove your worth, you've already lost. If you feel like you have to earn attention, you're moving wrong. If you feel like you have to convince someone to see your value, you're in the wrong room. Presence isn't about being seen. It's about being felt. Have you ever met a woman who doesn't even say much, but somehow everyone wants to be around her? That's because she moves like she already has what other people are chasing. And that energy is intoxicating. So if you're trying too hard, if you're doing too much, sit back, say less, move like you've already won, and watch what happens. Power Moves Only on Facebook asks, Harrison, do you think men and women should be taught presence differently? Or is power the same across the board? Listen, presence is presence, but how do men and women apply it? That's where the difference comes in. A powerful man asserts. A powerful woman attracts. A powerful man speaks. A powerful woman lets silence speak for her. A powerful man conquers. A powerful woman influences. See, a man walks into a room and dominates through assertion. A woman, she dominates through magnetism. A man is the hunter. A woman is the reward. When women try to move like men, loud, forceful, doing too much, that's when they lose power because they step out of their nature and into competition. Presence isn't about being strong. It's about being undeniable. So yes, power is power, but the way you hold it, that's where the game changes. What I'm bringing to the table with this podcast, all right, let's get real. Y'all have been asking for this. Women have been blowing up my DMs, my emails, and my live streams for years asking me, Harrison, when are you going to start your own show? Well, here it is. Billionaire Embodiment Entertainment. But listen, this ain't just a podcast. This is a luxury conversation. This is the game they don't teach you in books. These are the conversations that happen behind closed doors. I'm not here to give you basic advice. You can get that anywhere. I'm not here to sugarcoat anything. That's not my style. I'm here to tell you how the world really works. And more importantly, how to make it work for you. So what am I bringing to the table? Let me break it down. 1. Power moves and high-value women breakdowns. Harrison Jacobs. Y'all ever wonder why some women get everything effortlessly, while others are out here struggling, chasing, and doing the absolute most just to get the bare minimum? Yeah, we're going to talk about that. Every episode, I'm breaking down real women. I'm studying how they move, how they attract, how they dominate. I'm giving you the exact blueprint to presence, attraction, and wealth embodiment. This ain't a theory. This ain't guessing. This is a real life strategy. The woman who walks into a room and commands attention, how does she do it? The woman who gets men to invest in her without even asking what's her secret? The woman who attracts wealth, opportunity, and influence without forcing anything. What's the formula? That's what we're diving into. And let me tell you now, once you start moving like these women, your life will never be the same again. 2. Exclusive billionaire level conversations. Listen, I don't do surface level conversations. Do you ever notice how the most powerful people talk differently? How do billionaires see the world differently? How do they operate on a completely different frequency? That's because they have access to different conversations. That's because they think, move, and exist in a completely different reality. That's because they don't play by the same rules as everybody else. And guess what? I'm bringing those conversations to you. I'm bringing in high-value men. I'm bringing in billionaires, CEOs, and luxury brand moguls. I'm bringing in powerhouses who know what it means to operate at the highest level. This podcast, it's a masterclass. If you're tired of playing small, if you're ready to hear how the best of the best operate, if you want to get inside the minds of people who actually run the world, this is the room you want to be in. 3. High-value men and the real game. Ladies, let's talk. Y'all want to know how high-value men think? Y'all want to understand why some women get chosen and others get played? Y'all want to move in a way that makes men step up, invest, and pursue at the highest level? Then get ready, because I'm telling you exactly how the game is played. The biggest mistakes women make when dealing with high-value men, the difference between being desirable versus being undeniable, the exact mindset shifts that separate a woman men admire from a woman men worship. And before you say, I don't need a man, listen, this is bigger than that. This is about power. This is about influence. This is about moving in a way where people, men, money, opportunities are drawn to you effortlessly. You want the real game? I'm giving it to you. No fluff, no nonsense, no playing small. As a matter of fact, while we're here, let's take a second to pay some bills. Ladies, if you're ready to start moving in your billionaire embodiment, go ahead and grab your copy of Discover the Billionaire Within by Kiana Devine. This book is about meeting your future billionaire self before the world does. It's about rewiring your mindset for success before success even arrives. It's about stepping into a reality where money, power, and influence become effortless. Click the link in the description box below to grab your copy now. 4. The energy of wealth embodiment. Now, let's talk about wealth, because most of y'all are moving like you don't actually believe you deserve it. You say you want wealth, but you're afraid to invest in yourself. You say you want abundance, but you're still operating from survival mode. You say you want luxury, but you're waiting for permission to step into it. Let me tell you something. Money doesn't flow to people who chase it. It flows to people who embody it. Success doesn't happen because you work harder. It happens because you shift your identity. Wealth doesn't come from getting lucky. It comes from knowing you are the prize. You want to be a billionaire? Move like one. You want luxury? Stop waiting for it. Start living in it. You want to be treated like a high-value woman? Be one. This podcast is going to teach you how. And trust me, once you start embodying success, money, power, and influence will have no choice but to chase you. All right. Before we close out this first episode, I'm going to take a few more of y'all's questions. Y'all have been going crazy in the comments, and I see some real heavy hitters in here. High Value Queen on Instagram asks, Harrison, what's the number one thing a woman should stop doing today if she wants to embody wealth? Damn, that's a good one. Stop waiting for permission. Too many women are waiting for the world to recognize them before they recognize themselves. Too many women are waiting to feel ready before they step into success. Too many women are asking if they're worthy instead of just deciding that they are. The moment you stop waiting, the world stops making you wait. You want wealth? Move like money is already in your hands. You want high-value relationships? Move like you're already the woman who gets chosen. You want success? Walk like it's inevitable. Nobody is coming to hand you a crown. You either wear it or you don't. The Feminine Force on TikTok asks, Harrison, what's something high-value women do that most people never notice? Easy. High-value women listen more than they speak. They observe the room before they make a move. They don't feel the need to prove anything. They let people show their value before deciding who's worth their time. Do you ever notice how the most powerful women never feel the need to over-explain themselves? They don't flood you with words. They don't fill silence with nervous energy. They own their space. And because of that, people lean in. They want to know more. They work harder to be in her presence. That's power. Lesson of the day, stop talking so much. Watch more. Listen more. Move like a woman who doesn't need to be seen because she already knows she's unforgettable. Money Moves Maven on Facebook asks, Harrison, what's your final advice for women stepping into their billionaire embodiment? All right, last question tonight. Stop proving, start embodying. You don't need to earn respect, you command it. You don't need to chase money, you attract it. You don't need to hope for power, you step into it. Success is an identity before it's a reality. And if you're still moving like you have something to prove, like you need to deserve success, like you need to earn the right to be high value, you're moving wrong. Decide today that you are the woman who already has it. Move today like you are the woman success is drawn to. Embody your billionaire energy and everything else will fall in line. Because when you stop chasing, stop proving, and start embodying, the world adjusts to you. Damn, y'all. We just wrapped episode 1 of the Billionaire Embodiment Entertainment podcast. And this is only the beginning. We're going deep into power moves, presence, attraction, and influence. We're bringing luxury level conversations straight to you. We're rewiring the way women step into their billionaire embodiment. And if y'all are rocking with this, if y'all are feeling this movement, subscribe to the podcast right now. Drop a comment and let me know what hit the hardest for you. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook because we're just getting started. Next episode, we're talking about Charmaine, the woman who owns the room. This is the Billionaire Embodiment Entertainment Podcast. This is the Harrison Jacobs effect. And this is the start of a new era. Until next time, move like you already won. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you all next week. Harrison Jacobs. Peace.